Hello, this is the Silver Watchman, and if you're watching this right now, then the campaign was a success. First of all, introductions are in order. Let me explain to you who I am. I'm a man of God that both loves God and loves playing video games. So I figured, why not combine the both? And initially, didn't want to do this at all because I figured, who would want to watch a guy break down the Bible or try to inspire them via, the point of view of a man of God and play video games at the same time? Didn't really seem interesting. Yet I'm still doing it because, nobody else wanted to do it. So, as far as the intro is concerned, the intro has changed over the years to fit the growth of the channel. Starting off with a very humble and simple Silver Watchman cross just coming in absolute silence to the intro that you're seeing now. It has grown to be as much as I can possibly get it to be with my current level of technology and understanding. But also, what you're seeing is a bit of a reference to older style video games and older style movies as well. And I'm talking about more along the lines of like the 30s and 40s, because I used to watch those old movies growing up. And I figured, let's add a bit of nostalgia in there. And for those who don't know what that is, or have never seen a movie from the 30s or the 40s, or even from the 20s, then there's no real nostalgia for them. But for the older audience, if they happen to be on YouTube, we'll get nostalgic of that, and that's part of what I'm trying to do. Now, my channel is the Silver Watchman channel. And on this channel, as I said earlier, I play video games, and I either try to inspire you via, talking about God and my personal experiences, or I read the Bible, and break it down while all playing video games. And the main point of it all is to teach you guys. Because I've noticed that nobody really understands what God is all about anymore. They seem to have this pre-misconceived notion that he, is a bit of a tyrant. At least that's from the interaction that I've gotten. Let me take a small swig of water to settle my nerves. I have been planning this campaign video, at the very least, a proper one, for the better part of 3 years. And I have been nervous all the way up to this point. It's always been my philosophy to be as transparent as possible. If I'm going to be your teacher, if I'm going to earn you guys' trust, I can't sit behind a veil. And I know that's kind of ironic that I don't show my face, but there's also a reason for that. As much as I want you guys to recognize me as your teacher, I also don't want you to think that I'm the only person that can teach you. I'm just one of many avenues. I've put a lot of hard work and dedication into what I do, and what I have been doing for the past 3 years. It's been 3 years so far. Next year is going to be the 4th year I've been doing this. In this channel, like I said, I try to keep the opinions to a bare minimum. But that doesn't mean that I won't get entertained by, what's going on in the game, or, by simple things that I find. Another thing that I do is, during the breakdown of the Bible videos, the videos where I read the Bible, I have a PDA on my right at all times. That way I can pull it to me and say, let's check out the handy dandy PDA. Also another reference to an old show I used to watch growing up. A lot of what I do is, in a way, references to a lot of the things that I used to enjoy. The kind demeanor is a reference to Mr. Rogers and Bob Ross, because I used to watch them growing up, and I always thought, these guys are pretty cool. I always used to watch the Crocodile Hunter, or I used to call him the Mr. Dundee man. Yeah, he was a guy that always used to go into nature and be like, wow, would you look at that? And he ended up dying to a stingray, if I remember. May God rest his heart. But I'm getting off topic. I mean, I even have little pinpoints to get past. For the record here, I don't really keep a script. I just keep little points on a paper that I will cross off as I go throughout the lesson or the video. So, another thing about this channel is that I put as much hard work and dedication as I possibly can into making the videos that I put out as crisp, as clean, and as free from extra noise as possible, even going as far as to have a noise canceller machine in the background. That is to go with the theme of the intro and the outro. Now, in the middle of every single video, there is something known as an intermission. In those intermissions, I can either put a fun little fact for you guys to see. It'll be on the screen from anywhere from 5 to 30 seconds, depending on how much of the gameplay video I had to cut off due to either glitches or just an excessive amount of in-game deaths. So, the upload times are typically about once a week. If I have the time, I upload more. But more often than not, between going to college, working a full-time job, and every now and again going out to help out the homeless, to the best of my ability, which is just, setting money aside from every single paycheck and going in and helping people out, and just passing them the money that I set aside, dispersing it as much as I possibly can. Now, I don't have the resources of somebody that, is a millionaire. I'm just some average Joe. A guy that is determined to make this world a better place. When I started this channel, I was very opinionated. I'm getting away from that because I've noticed that, opinions aren't as important as just bringing a deeper understanding of something that you already care about. And for me, that just happens to be the Bible and God. And the game selections are, believe it or not by any mistake. When I pick a game, it is typically has to fit one of three criteria. Can it be used to teach? Is the main plot of the game and the morals of the plot, can they be found in the Bible? And number 3, is it actually a fun game and is it beatable? These 3 things determine whether or not I put a game onto the channel. And in some cases, I don't play test the game before I put it on the channel, but I sit back and I watch either playthroughs, if there are any, on the channel, on other channels that I happen to find. And if I like what I see, I'll consider putting it on the channel, and if I don't have enough information, I'll play test the game myself before resetting all data and starting over anew. Or it just happens to be a game I played in my childhood, for the example of the Oddworld series or Wise Chronicles or the Random Hero series, Jack and Jill, and they're basically any Sega game or Capcom game. At least a lot of the older style ones, because, you know, you can't beat the classics. Like, we're talking Vector Man, Sonic, Starman. I kind of wish I was able to get Echo onto the channel, but as of right now, kind of can't. Just because it's not really it hasn't been ported over. Now, when I edit, going back to that, like I said, I edit to be as crisp and clean as possible, meaning that I want this to be an experience. If you're visually watching this, I want it to feel like you're watching a movie. You know, I want you to feel like this is not just a movie on the big screen. Because, yeah, that's an experience, but that's not what I'm going for. I'm going for that kind of, you go in and you get an old VCR tape, you put it in the VCR, and you press play. And for those of you that don't know what a VCR is, just replace that with a DVD or a Blu-ray or something that you can physically, with an analog device, put it in and play it. Because, I mean, growing up, I watched a lot of VCR tapes. And that's also why in the latest videos you have that kind of like loading screen, because that's also reminiscent of just how old VCRs used to look, especially well-loved ones and well-watched ones. It's a way of kind of subtly saying, I love what I do. I just gotta eat. And like I said, I do my best to make this as smooth as possible. I do have a specific mission in mind, though. I want to change the way that everybody looks at Christians, because of the way that a lot of us have behaved over the years. A lot of you guys have a negative view of us, depending on where you are. If you're in America, that is definitely the case. If you're in somewhere like the Middle East, you don't really have a positive view. As far as I know, you don't have a negative view either. Just that, at worst, our God conflicts with yours. If you're in China, I'm going to leave it at that. Mostly because I don't want to challenge an entire nation. Everybody has things that they need to work on. So, but my mission is to change the way that everybody looks at Christians. So that we're not looked at as these big bullies that are trying to force God down your throat, but as people that are genuinely concerned about you guys, because we have gotten an understanding of eternity. Not to say that other religions don't give you an understanding, but part of what makes that brought a lot of people to Christianity is the fact that in the beginning we were willing to help out people, even if it meant that we died for it. And I kind of want to bring back that mentality of we would do whatever it takes to help people out. Even if we look like crazy people for trying to help. Because a lot of the time, war has never been won at the end of a gun, but within the beating of a heart. And my goal? Well, one of my goals is to build sanctuaries all over the world. Those cathedrals that you see in Europe, those used to be sanctuaries. Those used to be places where people could go and be safe. Somebody was trying to hurt you. It used to be that you can go to your church and get safety and get protection. Now, every single time people go to church, they get bullied, rejected, and alienated. And in the outro, like I said, I want to change that and make this world a better place. But now I need to talk about the outro. The outro, two things are featured. Quite a few things. One are the Bible verses that will be left at the end of the video. I picked two, not with any specific design, just to leave it with people. And then I have this. If you like the video, like, comment, share, subscribe. Or I challenge the viewer to take care of the least of their societies. And if they don't want to do that, then they could support the channel by either subscribing, leaving a comment of what they thought of the video, which honestly I prefer, or going to the merch shop, which I show you guys how to do in this little video of, when I'm on my channel, I go to the About section and I click the link, and I always try to update the merch shop. Like I said, I try to keep prices as low as possible. Do I, though? I can only keep them as low as, the company that I'm working with allows me to. And the outro also, as well as the intro, features prayer time. That's why they're so long. So I can pray with the viewer, if the viewer so decides. And if not, they could skip ahead and get right into the meat and potatoes of what I'm going to be talking about. Because not everybody wants to pray, even other Christians. Trust me, I know. And after all that prayer is done, then I, either get into the video or I send people off on their way and challenge them if they so want. I end up finishing up the video with saying anything along the lines of, have a nice week. This is a Silver Watchman signing out. May God be with you. It's an honor that I get to do this, or be safe out there. Because at the end of the day, I want you guys to come back. I want you guys to feel like this is a safe place for you to come. I don't want you to feel like I'm pressuring you, which I'm not. I'm trying to teach you. And, like with any classroom, if you don't want to sit there and listen, you could always escape. But I'm running out of time. And as I said earlier, thank you all for watching. Glory be to God. And this is the Silver Watchman signing out. Have a nice week, everybody.